Nikon ZF. Is Nikon ZF a Fujifilm killer? Let's talk about this now. Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name is Tudor Matescu and in this video we will find out if Nikon ZF is a Fujifilm killer. Will I switch to Nikon ZF? Why Nikon ZF is so attractive? Why Fujifilm system is so attractive? And which one is the best that it suits me and my needs? So let's get into the subject. So Nikon ZF, it's the new retro looking camera from Nikon. It's looking great, it has great design, great build quality, and it's a full frame. And it's a full frame, a big deal here. I always wanted a full frame camera, retro looking, but I wanted a camera that it's a smaller camera, but I feel the camera is great regarding size and ergonomics. You have enough buttons and it's looking great. So size, I think it's okay and you can work with it, but also you have small pancake lenses that you can install on Nikon ZF. So overall you'll have a very small package full frame camera. So this is a very attractive package for the Fujifilm user that wants to shoot a full frame. So let's address all these things. I'm really liking Nikon colors. For me, Nikon it's Fuji full frame. So regarding design, build quality, image quality, we can't expect bad image quality. No, the image quality will be great, is great, the AF is great, and the colors are great. Next, we have lots of Nikon dedicated small lenses that can compete with the small lenses from Fujifilm. So we have the 40mm f2 and other pancake lenses that I will not list now, but we have lots of pancake lenses, full frame lenses. And the main lens that I was looking at, because I'm a very big fan of the 40mm field of view, it is the 40mm f2. And Nikon ZF was launched with this pancake full frame lens that is bigger than this f2.8, and this is an f2.8, and Nikon it's a full frame 40mm f2. Wow, on paper all things look great if you don't have trained eyes. And I will tell you immediately why. So you have small lenses with a great full frame camera, but from my point of view, if you want better image quality, you must go to at least the standard lenses, and this is normal, but the standard lenses are standard, full frame, a little big lenses, not too big, they are okay, I'm liking them, but they aren't as small as a Fujifilm lens, like this 50mm f2 lens. But yes, you have a pretty well designed lens. I'm liking those lenses because they aren't chunky, they are longer lenses, slimmer, but they have some weight to it. Check the weight of the lenses and some length to it. So if you want better image quality, you will go to those lenses. And why? I will tell you immediately. Look attentive to the image quality of the 40mm f2. It's very bad. It's very bad, this is my opinion. It doesn't have enough contrast at f2 at least. Check the videos online. The reviewers that showed how Nikon ZF was acting with 40mm f2 complained that they didn't have enough contrast, but they don't have enough contrast and enough sharpness with the 40mm f2 because Nikon had to do a compromise to make a small pancake lens. And this is where the problem lies with pancake lenses. I'm a big fan of pancake lenses, of small lenses, but without image compromises. So this is where Leica wins. With a Leica lens, you have a small lens, but it's crazy sharp, you have crazy color, you have crazy contrast, you have crazy micro contrast, you have all the things that you could want from a small lens. So my philosophy for photography is as the Leica philosophy. I'm liking small, good quality cameras and small, good quality lenses. And unfortunately, the 40mm f2 lens for my eyes, it's not okay. Also, this is not okay. But with this lens, you are almost there. Yes, you will not have that 40mm compression. You have here an f2.8, but overall, in practical use, I find them equally. Again, this will be under because it's an APS-C crippled regarding resolution lens, but it will do the job in this field of view. So, if you want better image quality, and this is why you would go to the Nikon ZF or ZF, you must look at the standard lenses. And on Fujifilm, look at the standard lenses. They are still small, very sharp. This 50mm f2, I'm really loving it. I'm really loving it. Also, I'm loving the 35mm f2 and lots of other Fujifilm lenses. And this is why I would want it a 40mm equivalent lens f2 with the build quality and with the image quality that comes from the 50mm f2. But unfortunately, we don't have this on Fujifilm. So, if you aren't a 40mm shooter, and if you think you'll be okay with the standard lenses, 35mm f1.8, the 50mm f1.8, the 85mm f1.8, big lenses with a heft to it, you'll be okay. Also, you can adapt lenses via the FTZ adapter and you'll be also better regarding the choice of lenses, but again, bigger. So this is where the problem comes into play. You have a retro looking camera, but a very big camera. And with the pancake lenses, you will not be satisfied from my point of view. You will not be satisfied because they made compromises regarding the glass, regarding the resolution, regarding the end result. So if you go to full frame, you want better glass. And you will find better glass at least at standard lenses and not in those pancake lenses. So in general, I've observed that lots of manufacturers are crippling the pancake lenses. The only pancake lens that I feel it wasn't crippled, it is the Lumix Micro Four Search lens 20mm f1.7. So a pancake lens with great glass, great minimum to focus distance and lots of great stuff in it except the AF, but it was a great lens. So this was my first experience with a pancake lens, and after that I've expected from other manufacturers to have great experience with their pancake lenses, but unfortunately not. And this is the case of the 40mm f2 Nikon ZF lens. It's not a great lens, it will do the job, but it's a cheap glass there. And also the lens is cheap, so the price of the lens is justified. You get how much you pay. And by the way, I have a special newsletter dedicated to the passionate photographers. So if you want to learn more about photography tips, tricks and all kinds of useful information for free, please subscribe to my newsletter, link in the comments and description. Next, going to Nikon ZF, you lose the tilt screen. So this is where I want to get. So they've made a camera dedicated to photographers, how I've said, with lots of video features. And because they put the video features on the camera, they think, why not put a flippy screen? Because if we have all these features, a videographer will want the flippy screen. And this is another compromise. And this is what I like about X-T5, is that they didn't repeat the mistake from X-T4. They didn't make that compromise. They've made a camera dedicated to video like XS20, like XH2S with flippy screen, and a camera dedicated to photographers. And a retro looking camera. It's a camera especially dedicated for photographers. If you want to make a retro looking camera for videographers, I don't know, take another design. Take another design, but not a photographical design from my point of view. Okay, lots of you will say, okay, I'm not bothered, I can live with the flip screen. I'm sorry. This implementation is the best implementation for photography. It will help you a lot on street photography, on down angles, and so on. So if you are picky like me, and I am picky, I'm sorry, I want the nicest experience when I'm taking pictures. I want a flip screen. Next, regarding screens, I'm okay with this type of screen, is doing the job, not as great as a normal tilt screen like on X-T5, but better than a flip screen. This is working better than a flip screen, again for photography. Next, to show you, I have here Sony A7C, and I've said, okay, I will get accustomed with the flip screen, I will use the flip screen. It's not impossible. I can do it. I want full frame quality. I want small lenses. I want a nice rangefinder design, and I'm a big fan of rangefinder design and not of the SLR look, but it's okay regarding Nikon. This is their look. And okay, I've said I will try to use this camera. Another advantage of a rangefinder design camera with a flip screen is that you have this EVF that will not block, if you have a tilt screen, will not block the screen. With a SLR looking camera like X-T5, and this is a compromise here for me, you'll have some blockage. You must take the screen a little more out to you. And on the streets, again, my main hobby is street photography, and on the streets, taking the screen out, it's a little cumbersome. You want to be in the moment, you want to concentrate, and you don't want to stay fixed on how you have the screen. You just want to make a simple move. So regarding simple moves, the best design for a street photography camera, it's a rangefinder design camera with a tilt screen. And I will show you my new camera in the next video because I think I found my dream camera. It's ticking all the boxes. So subscribe to see that camera and give it a like. Now regarding screens, ZF has a flip screen that is closing. So this could be a competitor from my point of view with Fujifilm X Pro 3, but also with X-T5. But especially with X Pro 3, because what I've discovered is that a flip screen will help you not chimp as when you are using a normal tilt screen. So a flip screen like on Sony ZF will help you more if you are a big EVF shooter. And now we are getting to the next point. Why would you want to stay with Fujifilm if you have a Fujifilm X Pro 3 is that you have an optical viewfinder. So attention to details. Nikon ZF, it's a retro looking camera but with a flip screen and with an EVF. Okay, modern design, modern evolution, I am getting it. But it could work for some people and for a specific niche. I'm not in that target. If you are in that target, you're okay using a camera with the screen closed, with big full frame lenses to get the best image quality, because this is why you've bought a full frame camera with the EVF. Then Nikon ZF, because it's retro looking, is for you. The next point why I would not choose Nikon ZF, even if I'm liking Nikon colors and how all it's looking and all it's nice and it's coming great together, it's because of Fujifilm simulations. Fujifilm simulations are a great and important thing in my photography, especially in my family photography. But even in small event photography, when you don't want to edit raw files, you can take the JPEGs and go with the JPEGs. I'm not able to get raw files to look as great as a Fujifilm JPEG. This JPEG, again, who is using Fujifilm knows how a Fujifilm JPEG looks. It's a state of the art, and with X-T5 it really is a state of the art what you can get regarding color, rendition, portraits with the JPEGs. You'll not be able to get this with Nikon ZF. So in conclusion, I feel that Nikon ZF, it's a great camera, it's very tempting, it could be a good add-on to the Fujifilm cameras, but it will not compete with Fujifilm cameras because Fujifilm, in this iteration, they've addressed and they've listened to the customer needs. They understand that if you want to make a dedicated photography camera, that it's also a great video camera. So for you who are behind the camera, you don't need to implement a vlogging style screen. You don't need to implement a vlogging style screen. So why would you do this with such a beautiful camera like Nikon ZF? Maybe you want to compete with X Pro 3, but again, that screen, it's a much smarter move. So the flip screen, I feel it's a middle choice. You can't go wrong. You'll have some complaints there, some wows there, and on the long terms, the videographers will not complain on YouTube and on social networks bashing your camera, and the photographers will work it. But others like me that are picky will say, okay, maybe I will go with it, maybe I will not go with it, let me see how it will work. For me, for sure, it will not work because I've tried with Sony a7C and no, I'm not okay. I can take this camera from time to time, but not as an everyday carry. So when I want a camera, especially for me, I want to use it as much as possible. So this is why I'm addressing all these things, because when you buy a camera, if it's your only camera or if you are switching systems, you want a camera to tick lots of boxes that will not make you not want to use that camera. So you want to have fun and to be motivated to pick the camera on the long term. And for me, the flip screen, it's not something that is motivating me. I'm okay with it again, but for an everyday carry, for a camera that it doesn't make me think, I really do prefer normal tilt screens like on X-T5. Yes, if you aren't like me and if you are okay with the flippy screen, if you are using for a long time flippy screens, and if you aren't bothered about that flip screen, then it's okay. But another point that you must be attentive, it's the lenses. The pancake lenses, and I'm talking just about the 40mm f2. I didn't look at all the pictures with the other lenses, but the 40mm f2, it is made as a pancake lens. You will not get the best image quality from that lens. And when it comes to third-party lenses and so on, there is another story and another discussion, and I feel that Fujifilm still has the advantage here, but Nikon has the chance to catch it up. So a great camera, a great looking camera. Of course, I would like to put my hand on it, but as I know myself, I'm betting I will not use it for a long time, because this kind of cameras is the cameras that I take with me and I like to use it very, very much because it's easier and faster to use a screen like this. So if you are liking content like this, please subscribe to my channel, give it a like, share my video with your friends, leave me your comments, check my links, check my newsletter for the passionate photographer, and also please be sure to check my next video. Click here right now.